Hello, here House of Frankie Underground Radio. I'm here with the extraordinary musician and producer Tricky. Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. So let's start with the first question. Talking about your new album, Ununiform, a journey into your legacy, history, family. But what's the real meaning behind the title of the album?
It's like it seems like when there used to be artists used to be more separate, like you know, you had Bob Marley, John Lennon, Billie Holiday, and you know, all the Jimi Hendrix, all these artists. They were great artists, but they weren't like each other. They had their, like when you heard Frank Sinatra,
Yes.
you know it's Frank Sinatra. When you hear Bob Marley, you know it's Bob Marley. And now, because music is so business now, because it's about money,
Yes.
you know, everything sounds a bit the same, you know. So there's all similarities. And back in the days, even like, so you could have two blues artists.
Yes.
Even though they were doing blues, they didn't sound like each other. Now you got rock artists who sound like each other. You got pop artists who sound like each other. There's no really individuals anymore. You know, like it's almost like, you know, like it's hard to say, like people like say Frank Sinatra and Billie Holiday, right? They had something else. It wasn't just the music. They had
Personality.
yeah. They had the personality, and like Bob Marley, they were bigger than the music almost. And I think because we've got into the factory way of making music, because music makes a lot of money, so it's a quick turnover. You know, you keep it's like everybody wants their record to go to the top of the charts, and people want to make millions of dollars. It wasn't so. Even when I started 20 years ago, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about being the richest guy. I come from a poor family, so when I earned a little bit of money, it was good. I was just like, wow, you know, it's like,
Yes.
I can make music and I don't have to go and do a job I don't like. So I was happy. Now, artists is like, it's about who's got the most money and who makes the most money, who sells the most records. And I think the music has lost a little bit of personality because of the business. Because the record companies has been taken over by businessmen. So now it's about success of record sales, not how good the music is.
Okay.
I was living in Paris,
Okay.
and then before that LA, and then New York. I never liked Berlin years ago. I never liked it, and then I was there in the summer doing some press, and it was so. I was living in London at the time. And you know, London is very busy, very fast-paced. And Berlin is it's a major city, but it feels more like Milan. It's very relaxed speed, you know?
Yes.
And it's like here, there's trees everywhere, and it's like living in the city, but the countryside. And because it's so cheap to live there, people are very relaxed because rent is cheap, everything is cheap there. So people aren't stressed like in London. People are stressed because you have to make money in London. In Berlin, it's a good place for like young musicians to live.
Yes.
Because like if you're a young musician and you're starting off, you can work 2 days, 3 days in Berlin, and that's enough to pay your rent. And then you got 3 days, 4 days to do your music. In London, it's hard to do music if you're young without having a job, you know. So, like, I've met young musicians in London, and they want to do music, but they can't because they have to work all the time. Too expensive. So Berlin is still a good music city, you know, and everybody moves there to survive, which I like. You know, you get Polish, Russian, Italian. You know, like when it's too expensive for someone in Rome, you see people go to Berlin.
Yes.
You know, so it's so it gives it a good vibe because people there are just surviving easy there, more easy.
And I know you have collaborated with a wide range of artists over the course of your career, including Terrio, Björk, Grace Jones, Massive Attack, and many others. And your new album too presents some important collaborations, like Francesca Belmonte, Asia Argento, Martina Topley-Bird. So I have to ask you, what's your favorite collaboration you have ever made?
Wow. Wow. Oh. I'd say
Too many.
I'd say Martina, Björk, and Francesca.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the album consists of 13 tracks. If you have to pick one, which one would you choose and why?
For me, same as it ever was, because it's silly, it's funny. You know, it's like when we did that track, it was like it was a party, and it was almost like a party atmosphere. So it's really silly, it's really and I like dancing. I'm not the people everybody perceives me as my music is dark and moody.
Yes.
But that's not really me. Like I'm the person who me and my best friend, a guy called Whitley, we go out and we dance. We used to dance, you know. We go out to reggae and dancing was a big part of our upbringing. You know, we like to go out and dance all night was just like the best. And I think that's something that people don't know about me because they see me as more as a dark, moody. Yes. But I'd say same as it ever was because it makes me want to dance. And When We Die. Because that has got When We Die has got a very strange atmosphere. Yes. Something very strange. It's a bit magical, that song. And
do you have any favorite or most inspirational artist?
I still listen to the Specials. I still listen to Public Enemy. But I wouldn't say one, but like a lot of different music, you know. Okay. And I hear the new music I hear now is from my daughter. Yes. So my daughter sends me music and stuff. So it's like so I still listen to new music as well, but I wouldn't say one particular.
And what do you think of the European underground scene?
Just some great music in really. But it is underground. Okay. You know, you ain't hearing it mainstream, but there's some really good, all over Europe, some really great music. Unfortunately, a lot of people ain't going to get to hear it because the major companies don't want to sign, like they're not going to want to sign a underground hip-hop band from Milan. Yes. They're going to want to sign a pop. So it's kind of even though there's social media to help new artists, it's still very difficult for them because when I started, major companies would sign someone who was seen as an underground artist. Nowadays they're not interested. So But there is a lot of good music all over Europe. I hear good music. Poland, Italy, Russia, everywhere. Spain. But unfortunately, it's hard for people to hear it.
So last question, what equipment do you use during your live performances?
Oh, guitar,
Yes.
drum,
Yes.
and bass player sometimes. Very old-fashioned.
Okay.
Yeah, very old-fashioned. I don't like to use like turntables and all.
Okay.
I don't think it works with the live band. It's
Yes. So thank you, Tricky,
Thank you
for the
very
great
much.
interview. Hope to see you soon again in Italy, maybe with a performance live.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.